This podcast covers sensitive topics that may be difficult for some listeners. Please take care while listening.
And we're back?
You absolute delinquent shouldn't be running any kind of business. What kind of scam are you running here?
What the fuck is going on there, Undrunkies?
Good morning, everybody. It's 7 a.m.
It is 7 a.m. and I have already dissed Heather.
Yeah. So Zoe and I are now going to start. Well, Zoe's been boxing. She's been boxing.
I've been boxing.
But she asked me
I've
now.
only been boxing for 2 months. Like, I'm not, like, that great yet, guys. And, like, I'm not that great. So don't expect me to be, like, phenomenal.
Yeah, when you come watch Zoe in the park, don't have too high expectations, I guess.
Yeah. Just lower your expectations a little bit.
Well,
it's just so I seem, like, better than what you think I'm going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm already intimidated by you and the sports of it all because you just are that kind of person that I'm like, oh, she's probably good at this. But Zoe walked into my house and she was so excited we're boxing together. And then she's like, it's hard though. Like, I don't know if you'll like it because there's a lot of thinking.
There is a lot of thinking and sometimes it frustrates me. So I'm like imagining you being in that scenario, getting frustrated as well. And I hope that doesn't turn you off.
I don't think it'll turn me off because
Okay.
I am an athlete.
You are an athlete.
Been doing a lot of counting, mostly to 8 my whole life.
Right. Yes.
Starting with 5. I've been counting from 5 to 8 my whole life.
Okay, good.
We're outside. We do it
Aggression.
outside.
So if it's nice out, we'll be boxing in. Come find us, you know?
Don't come find us. Don't come find us.
Don't come find us.
Mm-mm.
Find us in a couple months, maybe when Heather's better.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
find me in when I already have boxing under my belt because we should not be alone in the park.
We're just smart girls and we're hot girls. So sorry.
Great skin.
Great skin.
I'm very nervous about the tariffs, though. The tariffs are bumping up all my skincare like 1,000%.
I know. So you have to buy everything before July 1st. I mean, like, the people who are already spending that much money on skincare will continue to spend that much money on skincare. It's the people who are, like, only buying one product are going to be like, okay, well, now I'm not going to buy any fucking skincare. Like, I restocked on all my stuff, and thank God I get 50% off because
crazy.
It was $332 for my 4 products.
Yeah.
And that would have been like almost $700 for the average person. I'm like, I could not.
That's why I stagger it.
Yeah.
That's why it feels like I'm always buying skincare, but I'm like, no, I'm just like staggering things.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot to have good skin. And that's why I have to work at the clinic for the rest of my life because I need the discount.
Well, yeah. And skin is so important to mental health as well. Like, if I break out, I'm like, oh, I'm not going outside.
Exactly.
Now I don't like myself. Now we're going to have a bad day.
Yeah, and going back to the boxing of it all, I'm like, oh, that's so much money for like private lessons with the boxer. Yeah. Am I really gonna spend that much money? But I love it. Yeah, that's what I want to do instead of going out and drinking. Like, I want to spend my money on private lessons with boxing with you, and it's good for my mental. It's good for my physical. It keeps me healthy, my brain healthy too, because you are thinking while you're doing it.
Yeah, no, it's great.
I'll drop $700. On 10 classes.
Well, and you think
that would be the most expensive class that I've ever done.
But the thing is, like, you get sober and you're like, oh, I'm saving all this money.
I know.
And then it's like, no, you're not, because now you're investing in yourself because you like yourself now and you want to like live in the world.
Well, we're investing in ourselves instead of like literally putting poison into our bodies. So it's like so much better.
It is so much
it's
better.
Literally fine.
Yeah.
My parents just got back from Europe. They went to the south of Italy and then they went to Barcelona. What's the town in the south of Italy that is one of like the blue
zones.
They went
zones?
There? Yeah. Starts with an S. I want to say it's like Sacramento, but that's obviously not it.
Did they have a good time?
They had a great time.
So a blue zone is a place you can visit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We might need to live there.
It's
just like clearly so like calm, happy,
yeah,
easy.
No stress.
Yeah, probably very community based.
Yeah,
I like my neighborhood, but the community is weird. I don't know that I've ever really found a good. Not yet.
I feel like I don't have a community in my neighborhood because I don't have much of a neighborhood.
Yeah.
I need to move so I can have a neighborhood.
Yeah. It would be a vibe one day to be able to like make a cup of coffee and then like walk over to my friend's house and just like walk in the door.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
That's what I want.
But that means I have to leave the city.
That's not happening.
Because even if you live in the city and you have a house, you can't leave your door unlocked.
I used to leave my door unlocked all the time when I was drinking.
Oh, I hate that.
Did I ever tell you about my pizza story? Oh my God.
Tell me.
Oh my God.
I mean, the amount of times that I ordered pizza while drunk and then I would wake up in the morning and open my front door and there would be pizza.
So this man got into my house because I didn't lock my door. So me and my ex were drunk as hell. We're high. It's probably like 4:00 in the morning. We order pizza. We have sex and go to bed and like forget about the pizza. I wake up to my ex like shaking me saying the pizza guy's here, and I thought here meant like in like outside of the house.
Yeah.
And I'm like so drunk but like waking up, and all I hear is pizza, and I look up and I get up and I'm naked. I get out of my bed naked and I'm standing in front of the pizza guy in my living room. He came in to my house.
Why?
Because it was unlocked and he really wanted to deliver this pizza at fucking 5 a.m.
Was this a point where you had to like pay in person, or was
I think so.
Okay, because I was like,
so.
in what world would he be coming in?
I think
that's crazy behavior. That is crazy behavior. If a stranger walked into my home,
I know, and I stood in front of him naked. Yeah. I was butt naked.
Somehow that's not the craziest piece to me. I'm like, yeah, that's your house.
Yeah.
You can be naked if you want. Why is he in there?
Why is he in there?
It's a really weird decision for also.
I think I paid for the pizza. I didn't eat it. I went back to bed. I was just like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, it's not pizza time now.
Not pizza time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How's that ex of yours? Do you still in love?
No, I did fuck him, of course, when I got sober.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
He was really drunk when he came over. He was a horrible kisser. Dick was big. Didn't know how to use it.
Come on.
But I don't know if that was like because he was drunk or if that's like his normal state. But I'm going to assume it's the normal state because like when you're drunk, it should enhance it.
Okay. How's your mental health, Zoe?
I mean, it's 7 a.m. and I feel good.
What time did you wake up?
I woke up at 6.
Yeah, I woke up at 5.
Nice. I get so anxious about waking up early now because I don't know. Because I feel like I need 8 hours, and if I don't have 8 hours, then my day's ruined.
Yes, I do too. I was in bed at 11 last night, and I was like, I'm not getting 8 hours.
8 hours. And that's so crazy to me because I used to not care about sleep at all.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why does this matter to me so much now? It's really frustrating. So yesterday when I went to the Cirque du Soleil I went to the circus.
Montreal's greatest export.
Is it from Montreal?
Yes.
No, I didn't even know that.
Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, so I was just anxious when we were driving home last night because it was taking forever to get home. And I was like, I should be in bed right now. But it's fine. I can have a nap later.
I was talking to Ian about things in our life that we've missed, like things that like everyone was taught, but we missed. So, like for him, I forget what it was. Oh, it was like the months. He was in high school and he knew the months, but he didn't know what order they went in.
Oh my God, one of my exes didn't know the months.
Really? Okay, it's something.
I made fun of him so bad about it.
But like Ian is so smart and he's like very good with numbers and he's very like good with all this stuff. So it's a weird thing that like a pattern for him didn't, but it was something that he never learned. He maybe missed that day or something. And for me, it's maps. I don't get the concept of geography. I definitely didn't miss that day. I was there. I don't get it. I can't label map of Canada. And every goddamn history class we had, the first icebreaker thing was like, everyone get a map and get some crayons and we're going to label the map of Canada. And I said, no, we are not.
No, that stressed me out so much.
My mom
I hated doing
put a giant map of Canada outside my bedroom so that when I would wake up, I would see it across the hall. And she tried to get me to like, by osmosis, know the map of Canada. And I still don't know it. I can't. If you put a gun to my head right now, I can't do it.
No.
I know that Ontario is next to Quebec and then that's it for me.
Yeah, That's about it for me too.
Okay, thank you. That's good. I'm glad.
I don't know much. What's on the other side of Ontario even? Is it Edmonton? Is it Manitoba?
We have to stop now. We have to stop now.
Stop. How's your mental health?
Okay, my mental health, honestly, right now, I'm having a really fun time. Like,
Me too.
I like a 7 a.m. with you. I like this.
Good.
I like when you go to the circus at night. No, I feel good. I had a really good conversation with somebody that I'm seeing.
With your man.
Yeah, about this podcast, actually. And
so he's not going to be listening anymore.
No.
Okay.
And like,
both of our men do not listen to this podcast, as it should be. This is for the girls.
At first, I really liked it. At first, I was like, this is so nice. Like, you're so supportive. And I needed that kind of support and that kind of like hype man.
Yeah.
And like, he's so kind. And like, it's really sweet to have someone listen. And then something happened where like he cross-referenced something in the pod and something that I said to him. And it was fine. Like, it wasn't like an issue, but it was just in that moment, I was like, thank God that this is a nothing. Like, it was an easy conversation, but I was like, if that had been a fight, or if you had heard something that I said and like it sounded to you like a lie or it hurt your feelings, then we would have fought about this. And I don't want to do that. And I'm like, that will come up because like the way that we talk is like, sometimes I'm like, oh, like, yeah, when I fuck or I'm fucking this person. And it's like not necessarily in real time, but it's like about what we're talking about. And I'm like, I don't want you to hear something that I did and also talking about like fucking your exes is like not a vibe for some people, you know? And I'm like,
well, especially because like it's more new for you. Yeah. So like you don't need him to be listening to all of it. And like you'll tell him those things in private when it comes up naturally, but he shouldn't be like privy to that.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it's good too, because I was like, you're gonna be dating two people, like the podcast version of me and the me. So like just date me and get to know me through me. Yeah. And that was me. Like I needed to put that boundary up because I was like, there's something happening where I don't feel super safe. And then I was like, oh, and then after that conversation we had, I was like, I feel good. And I also feel good that I like asserted my own feelings and needs. Yeah. Because like it doesn't necessarily mean forever, but I'm like, right now in this moment, I really like you and I want this to work. And like, this is what I need.
You set a boundary and he listened to you.
And he like fully accepted
he respected it.
Yeah. And it's so nice. And I'm like, okay, we can tell men things. And I was like, is this going to hurt his feelings? Are we going to, but I'm also like, we're not catering to men on this podcast. Like we're
absolutely not. Yeah, that's good that you set that boundary and that he listened.
Yeah, I think like keeping work separate from our relationship might be a really good thing. I don't know.
I think so too. I think my boyfriend doesn't even know this side of me fully yet. Like he's probably seen it when I'm out with my friends and stuff, but
these are also intimate conversations and like we're putting it out there, but it's like they're intimate and I'm intimate with you, so be intimate with me and not this. Yeah. And then I think everything will be kosher.
And and maybe like a year or something. Like if he wants to listen, he can.
Oh my God, I love when you future trip about this podcast. Like we'll be doing this in a year. Okay, so let's get into some sober news. Our mental health is fine.
It's fine. Move on.
Okay. So we're getting into some sober news today. And this one, we just have to because it's so in the news. But Elon Musk is on drugs.
He's on them.
He's on drugs. And I mean, there's a lot of directions we can go with this. But first of all, I want to talk to you about what ketamine is.
Yeah, because I've never done it, I don't think.
You don't think so?
Can you snort it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I know there was one thing that I snorted that wasn't Coke, and people told me it wasn't. So it might have been that.
Was it Molly?
Burned. No. Okay. It wasn't Molly. It wasn't Coke. Maybe it was ketamine, and it burned way more than Coke.
Maybe it was crack. Maybe you got a rock in there.
Maybe. But I remember people were like telling me like, yo, it's not Coke, so be careful.
Where were you?
I was at a house party.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were like, okay.
I was like, okay, let's try it.
I know. Isn't that funny? Was that before the fentanyl times? Like, were you ever worried about fentanyl?
No.
Yeah. There was
but like I feel like when you're an addict, you're not like that concerned.
You're not, but it's also crossing over into fentanyl territory when you start taking pills. Like when you're
my friend in high school used to sell her mom's fentanyl.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened to her mom?
Her mom, I think, had like an accident and just like had a bunch of fentanyl, and her mom was abusing it too. So her mom was getting like lots of fentanyl. Yeah. And she would like, steal her mom's fentanyl and sell it.
I was talking to someone about, their parent had gone through cancer and hospice and passed. They were saying, like I was in charge of the morphine. I was in charge of administering the pills. And I guess it wasn't like a IV morphine. It was pills. And they were like, give her them when she needs them. Yeah. And that's like hard to track, right? Yeah. Because you also don't know really, you can't really tell how much pain someone's in when they're not telling you. And so, but she was like, I could have pocketed them. Yeah. She's not an addict. Yeah. But I was thinking, we just had this conversation on the weekend, and I was like, the place in my sobriety where I'm at now, if I was going through that with a parent, I might take them.
Yeah. I don't think I would like to be in charge of that. No. I think I would say, not for me, someone else needs to be in charge of this.
Yeah, that's the smartest thing. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. I would need you probably to be like, hey, so Heather can't be in charge of the pills. But but I was like, not even in a like, I'm going to take all these pills and then drink. But I was like, it reminded me of Dax Shepard when he relapsed. He was like with his dad, and it was like a morphine for you, a morphine for me.
Boyfriend that I dated out after rehab, he got into pills because his friend in high school just had extra pills and was like, yeah, like, do you want to try these? And he was like, yeah, I guess so. And then just tried them and then got addicted and got all of his friends addicted. It's like, it's that easy that like you take one, you're addicted. These pills are dangerous.
So the thing about ketamine is a class 3 narcotic. So ketamine is one of these things that's like, it's not an opiate. It's anesthetic, right? Oh, okay. So it kind of... what it does is kind of detach your brain from your body. That's what you want when you have anesthesia, right? Like you want your brain.
It's an upper or a downer.
Well, that's the thing, right? So ketamine, as it is as an anesthetic, is a downer. Okay. Because you're disconnecting your brain and your body, and so your nerves are compressed. You're like you're compressed.
And we like downers because we're alcoholics.
I fucking love downers. Yeah. However, now in the early like 2010s, ketamine started to be people started to research ketamine in a way that wasn't just anesthesia. Now anesthesia, it's for people, but also ketamine is used for animals.
Right. Yep.
People are constantly shooting animal drugs into themselves. Stop doing that. But so 2010s, it's being researched, and now people are kind of using it as treatments. You've heard of ketamine therapy. Yeah. It's big in the mental health world. It's big. The girl Haley Rawle, who hosts Girls Camp podcast, she's doing ketamine therapy. Mormon Wives, Jen and Zach. Do you watch it?
I've seen clips. I haven't watched an episode.
See, their marriage is really bad, really bad. He's very abusive, and she just is a Mormon, and they're doing ketamine therapy.
But like, they're not Mormons because they're not following the rules. Like, that's what I don't get about that show. I'm like, but you're not Mormons then.
I think in every religion, people tend to pick and choose the Bible, right? It's like, this religion means love, but not for the gays. Yeah. Or like, we support women, but not if they are sexually active.
It's literally the most confusing thing ever, and it's really annoying.
So ketamine is being used as a therapy when you are a drug-resistant person. So if you have tried antidepressants, if you've tried SSRIs, and they're not working for you chemically, they're not working. And that could be anything, right? That could be you or me. Trauma has a lot to do with it. PTSD has a lot to do with it. Environment, drug use, lots, right? People are getting off of drugs and then doing ketamine as a therapeutic means to calm your addiction and like divert.
Is it kind of like Suboxone?
No, because we have to do some research on that.
I think it's a pill.
We got to get a person on here.
We need to get a person. If you're a person of the drug world, come on.
I know a person. Oh, I got a professor I know. Okay, so ketamine. So we've also heard of like K-holes. You've heard of this K-hole. This is also very big. It's Pride, so there's a lot of K-holes going around right now. But basically, that's what it is. When you take ketamine as more of a party drug, so when it's not prescribed to you, when you take it as a party drug, you can get high. Elon Musk said that himself. He's like, oh, well, when you take it in small doses, it's therapy. But when you take too much of it, you get really high. Duh. So what it does is it disconnects your brain from your body, and then you're kind of living in this really nice ethereal no problems kind of way, which is a nice feeling.
Yeah.
But now we're thinking, okay, people are doing ketamine. So what ketamine is doing is it's constantly numbing you, right?
Yeah. Which I think you're still taking drugs.
Yes, you're still taking drugs.
You're still taking drugs. You're still relying on something.
Yeah.
But this is where it gets confusing too, because like people who take antidepressants every day, that's way lower of a drug, right? Like you're not living in like that numb state.
No, but I also, okay, so.
But also like people who take antidepressants, like you are still relying on something.
Yes.
And a lot of people, some people in the meetings are against taking antidepressants because they think it's still like you're relying on something, you're still taking a drug. I don't really like those type of people because like, no, if you need it, you need it.
Yeah.
That's what I think. But also it is like a weird thing where like, yeah, you are still relying on it. Are you going to lean off of it?
Yeah.
What's the long-term goals for this?
Right.
Like you have to be aware of that, and you can't just like kind of,
Take
unless
really
you're
heavy.
actually like OCD or whatever, like very much
Depressed.
need it forever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tricky situation because I'm not.
Well, you're not on them.
I'm
right?
not on them.
And you've never been on them.
No.
And it is confusing. I think there's a lot of like misinformation, but also for me. So you just said you should know your plan and how long you should be on them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know when I went on sertraline.
Well, I think they kind of just want you to take them forever.
Yeah,
because,
of course. It's big pharma.
It's, exactly. So that's why I'm like, you should be aware of that's what they want from you. But if it's a possibility where you can lean off of them, isn't that kind of the goal?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because, so we're talking about like SSRIs or antidepressants, anti-anxiety. The thing about the difference between those and like doing cocaine or like doing something that's going to boost your serotonin is that like taking an SSRI isn't changing your mental state and your capacity for like taking in the world.
Yeah.
Right? It's not changing who you are as a person. What it's doing is creating serotonin in your brain, because if you're a person with depression and anxiety, there is not, you as a person chemically fly. There's a fly in here.
Fly.
Cannot make the serotonin in your brain. So the SSRIs do that for you. Now,
and I get that.
I've been on SSRIs for 6 years now. I don't make my own serotonin. So when I miss a dose, it fucks me up immediately.
Yeah.
Like the next day I'm fucked. I'm like really dizzy. I'm like, I get brain shocks. So that's not good. So I am addicted to them. I'm reliant on them, right?
Yeah.
Reliant, addicted. Yeah. I can't get off them without like medical intervention.
Yeah.
What ketamine does is it doesn't touch your serotonin at all. It goes for your glutamate. So glutamate is basically what it does is ketamine will reconnect your brain and the wires that are connecting to your brain. So kind of like when you like open one of those things that I have in my apartment for all the light, it's like the switches.
Yeah.
So basically you're like turning it on.
Yeah.
Because it's off. Like you're just so down here, you take ketamine and it goes for the mother switch.
And ketamine is being used for people who SSRIs don't work on.
Yes.
So it's like these people need more.
Yeah. The point is that SSRIs and traditional forms of therapy, because when you take SSRIs, when you're on antidepressants or anti-anxiety, you're also supposed to be doing other therapies like psychotherapy, talk therapy, all that stuff. But ketamine feels really fucking good, right? Because ketamine will take you from 0 to 100 really, really quick. Whereas SSRIs, it takes a few weeks to kind of settle into your body, and then maybe it doesn't work. You got to switch. Ketamine is like you're in, right? And that's amazing.
And it's probably so expensive. So it's not like for the average person, you know?
Yeah, I don't know how it's covered here in Canada. I don't know if we prescribe it in like the way that they do in the States, but often when we're seeing ketamine use, it's intravenous, right? Like you go to a therapy, you get it done, blah, 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 blah. You're good to go. What Elon Musk is doing and what other people do is when it's prescribed to you, you can take it as a nasal spray. That gets tricky because the nasal sprays in general. So nasal sprays I find are addictive. So I used to use a nasal spray because I was like, it's so dry in New York and everything was so dry. So I would use a nasal spray because I was getting nosebleeds.
Yeah.
But I couldn't stop using the fucking nasal spray because it was like opening up my sinuses.
Right.
And when I would stop it, my mom got addicted to like a steroid nasal spray once.
Interesting.
And it's just like these things that are on hand. It's like having a vape in your hand.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. It's like if you were able to have this thing walking around with you, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Your tolerance is going up quicker.
Yeah.
It's in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. And so that's what Elon Musk is doing, right? He's taking too much. He's coming into the office. He's on shrooms. He's on coke. He's on ketamine. He's like outwardly talking about his ketamine use.
Which is crazy to outwardly talk about it because like I'm sure all of these guys are on so many drugs, you know?
Yeah.
But they're not talking about it.
The privilege of drugs is to be able to do them under the guise of like, this is creative.
Yeah.
And we're making a profit.
Yeah.
And I think that that's true for a lot of drugs. Like, I think people start drugs and they're like, let's go. Cocaine. We're getting things done. We're starting this business.
That's how it starts. It starts fun.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, shit.
Well,
I can't do anything without it.
He had to leave the White House. And
is he going to have to go to a rehab?
No.
Okay.
He will never go to rehab.
Oh,
he will probably
fun.
just create. No. Here's the other thing. If it's not ruining your life.
Yeah, but until it ruins your life.
But why would it ruin his life? He has $1 billion. And if he doesn't feel well after his like ketamine drop,
there's another drug to make it. Yeah.
What will happen is he'll probably die. He'll probably die in the way that Matthew Perry died, right? It's the same thing. Ketamine, you're taking too much. You're not taking what's prescribed. You're taking more because your tolerance is going up. And ketamine feels so good. That's the thing. When you give addicts ketamine, they're going to love it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like anyone would love that.
Anyone would love it.
Sounds amazing.
But we have a thing as addicts, what's the
wanting more of everything?
No, the like quick gratification, like immediate gratification. Yeah. We have that more than the average person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you gave me ketamine and then said, like if my therapist was like, hey, Heather, do you want to try ketamine therapy? It's going to make you really high.
Yeah. I
wouldn't even hear the therapeutic side effects. I would just be like,
yes. And the fact that he can, just have it whenever he wants and carry it around. Yeah. It's also very privileged though too. Like I wonder how much that would cost for the average person. Probably not accessible.
Well, he says that he takes it because it helps him take a break from his own brain, which to me that's not what a doctor would say. That's not how they're prescribed. Yeah. Right? It's to enhance the person it's to enhance your mood.
Yeah.
It's
for severely depressed people.
Yeah, it's not to like completely disconnect your brain from your body because that's an addict.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
That's what we were trying to do every day.
So ketamine, that brain body disconnect, it's really like a nervous system. Like it really disconnects you. You don't have control. When you are doing that much, your body doesn't have the muscle memory anymore, right? Like that's what it's doing. Your body can kind of function on drugs as is because you've been doing it your whole life.
Yeah.
But the more and more you take, the more reliant your body is on those things and they forget how to work. And then also if you have to pee, you feel like you have to pee and you go to the bathroom,
you can't pee.
You can't pee because your brain can't tell your body to pee. And that is why a lot of drug addicts die on the toilet because they're trying to pee, they can't, and then they have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Elvis Presley.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're going to see what happens with Elon Musk. I don't want to talk too much about him as a person because obviously that's a lunatic person. But I just think it is interesting that we're watching people do ketamine as a privileged drug, as a drug that's being spoken about as a clinical thing. And I'm like, it's no different than any other drug. You're just pretending.
You're not doing it in a clinical way.
No. Ketamine therapy on its own, I would love to have someone come in here and tell us about it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But I would like to know the actual process, the addictiveness of
I feel
ketamine.
like I watched a show and they were doing it and you had to like go into the doctor's office to do it every week.
Yeah.
Or like every month or something.
Yeah. But when
it's not like you don't take it home type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is when you can take drugs home. Can't take drugs home.
That's really it. Yeah.
Because it doesn't even matter. Like, it doesn't matter where you are in your mental health or your sobriety journey. It's like, you can't just be around drugs. I can't have loose drugs in the house.
No.
I was going to go to LCBO for something to get I wanted to make a espresso martini, like a non-alcoholic one. And I was looking up like where, and then it was like, oh, LCBO has this like non-alcoholic thing. And I was like, I can't go into the LCBO. I haven't been in there.
Have you been in?
No.
I remember my babysitter, I used to babysit like a few years ago, and I was meeting the mom because I hadn't seen her in a couple years when I was like 4 or 5 months sober, and her husband texted me asking to bring over a bottle of wine, fully knowing that I was sober. And I was like, oh.
Her husband?
Yeah, asked me to bring a bottle of wine to their house.
Why?
because I guess they were gonna drink and like they needed wine. Fully knowing I was sober, okay?
That's crazy.
And I texted my sponsor and I was like, do I get this? Like, I feel like I want to get this. And she was like, yeah, if you want to, you can. Like, you can get a bottle. Like, that's fine if you feel safe.
Oh, wow.
And I just like texted her as soon as I got it, and I was fine, and it felt like a big accomplishment for me. Like, I did feel really good that I could do that and like give my babysitter like a bottle and still be okay in my sobriety.
I don't actually know my thoughts on that, because I mean, everyone is individual. I just mean,
I just want to be like, when I don't know, if my friends were coming over one day and like they wanted to drink, or if my one friend was getting married, like, I don't know, maybe I would buy her a nice bottle. Like, I want to be able to do those things still.
Yeah, I don't know that I need to.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I have thought about that, and I'm like, I for people's like, when like my friend Paige moved to New York, and I'm like, do I bring a bottle of champagne? And I'm like, but I don't do that.
Yeah.
Drinking isn't part of my life anymore, and I don't want it to be.
Yeah, but I just don't want to be like unable to do something.
Totally.
You know, like, I don't want to be like unable to go into somewhere.
Totally.
So I want to,
and I don't share those same concerns. Like, I don't have that feeling where I'm just like, oh, I don't need to go into the LCBO. The LCBO, if you're not Canadian, is like our big Canadian grocery store of alcohol. We don't have those like little bodegas. We have the LCBO.
I mean, now you can get it anywhere, but yeah,
LCBO.
I don't know.
And you know, I think about that too when I'm thinking about kids. If I did have a kid and they were like, can you buy me and my friends alcohol? We're 17 or 18 years old even. Let's say they're 18.
Yeah.
You can drink in Quebec, but you can't drink here. And they're like, can you buy us some alcohol? I don't think so. It's not a thing that I do. And I don't have kids. I don't know how I would feel. But like, I also like don't really feel like I want to be encouraging alcohol use. I don't want to discourage it. I don't care. I'm not a prohibitionist, but I don't think that like my contribution to my friends is ever going to be a bottle of alcohol. And that's just how I feel. It has nothing to do with like where my sobriety is at. I'm just like, maybe my challenge is like figuring out what else I can do for people, or what else I can, because alcohol's been like my thing forever. Yeah. And I'm like, what do these people actually like and need?
Well, that's how I feel like when people come over to my house, like usually people would bring a bottle of wine, right? Yeah. And now they don't bring me anything. And I'm like, guys, you can like bring me like a box of Coca-Cola. You can bring me like some flowers. Yeah. You can like bring me food, cookies,
a bag,
cupcakes, whatever. Yeah.
Pair of shoes.
Mm-hmm. And they don't, which is interesting as a sober person, because when
flowers would be good.
Yeah, like when I invite friends over, usually it would be in past years a bottle of wine, but now they just show up with nothing, and I'm like,
because it's convenient.
Bring me something still.
It's convenient. Bringing a bottle of wine it's not like a kindness. Yeah. It's just a convenience, because I was going to the liquor store anyway. Yeah. So like going out of your way to do something else.
Yeah, that's true.
That is kind of nice. Yeah. Well, I was thinking I want to have a birthday party for my 31st.
Yeah.
Here.
I think you should too.
But I'm like, the drinking, like my friends don't drink. I'm sure some of my friends drink, but I'm like, I'm not going to buy alcohol. Yeah. Like, I will only have.
So when I had my party, I expected people to drink, obviously. Yeah. Thank God no one got like too drunk though, which at first I was surprised that no one got too drunk, but then after I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, of course they didn't get too drunk. I'm sober and it's my house. Yeah. And my friends respect me, I guess, which thanks guys, love you. Yeah. But I think I always have the rule of you can't leave booze at my house. Okay. Yeah, that's my rule. There can never be booze in my fridge. I never want to open my fridge and there be booze. Yeah. That's a big no-no for me. My parents know that. My parents' friends know that. They've messed up a couple times and I have opened the fridge and there's booze, and it's always my parents' fault, which is super annoying. I'm like, okay, my friend.
In your fridge. Yeah. Mom and dad.
Come on. I think that's where my boundary is with booze in my house. It can be in my house. People can be drinking in my house. But when everyone's gone, you need to bring your booze with you. There can't be any left over.
Okay, that's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I don't want it in my house.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Like, that feels a little like modest. Yeah. But I kind of am like, it's never been in this house. Yeah. I bought this after I got sober, and I'm like, there's never been alcohol or Coke or any kind of shit in this house. Mm-hmm. I kind of like
Yeah.
Mind you, if you're a person who's like, three of your friends are coming and you don't really know everybody and you're nervous and you want to like have a little of course, that's fine. I don't know how I feel about it yet.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, ooh, my house.
I mean, I guess you'll never know how you feel until like it happens.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
but
I
I'm
think
out around alcohol. I like go to bars and stuff. I'm just like, this is my house.
I know.
I'm so sneaky. I'm such a sneaky little shit. I don't know if I trust myself, to be honest with you.
Well, I
don't
remember
know.
like the first Christmas I was at when I was sober, I like walked by a bunch of booze. Yeah. Like on the way to the bathroom or something, and I was alone. So I'm like walking and I feel my hand just reach for it. And I'm like, oh, nope. Get out of there. Stop that.
You're like, we are sober, all of us, all of my parts.
Of my hands.
So we're going to get into the segment, what this podcast was meant to be for an hour and a half. But we're going to get into some sober propaganda, some drinking propaganda.
Drinking propaganda.
Which I feel like drinking and propaganda go so well together because like when Prohibition happened, I feel like that's what it was. It was like, drinking is bad. It's ruining our youth.
Yeah, and where did that go? Because like that was true.
I think people need to drink.
Yeah.
I think people need to party. Like people can't handle the stress of their own lives, and then you get groupthink, which I don't like groupthink. And then everyone's like, well, if you're doing it, I'm doing it. Let's all do it.
Yeah.
However, you and me would have crushed Prohibition time. First of all, you would remember I sent you that thing, and it was like that man who like rode his donkey and was like a alcohol salesman during Prohibition.
Yeah.
That would have been you.
Yeah.
I would have been in one of those big houses just drinking.
Just drinking.
But there is a trend going around with TikTok right now. It's like propaganda I'm not falling for.
Yeah.
And
we're following the trend.
We're following the trend. And
we're being trendy.
Often the trend is like very feminist, which I love because I feel like it's like mostly girls, which is, or that's just my algorithm.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do it with alcohol. We wanted to talk about some major propaganda with alcohol and sobriety. And we just put together a little list that I think are probably, especially coming into summer, I think are like the most important, impactful ones.
Yeah.
So number one, I would say wine is self-care.
Wine is self-care.
So we just talked about this, but I was watching Ginny and Georgia.
Yeah.
And it's such a good season, but Georgia is going through like a murder trial right now. Okay. And
I don't know if I watched the second season or not. I know I watched the first.
I love this high school drama.
My friend Anna Sophia, shout out.
Oh, I love that name.
She has a song that was in season 2 and in season 3.
Stop this.
Yes.
Stop that.
She DJ'd Dundas West yesterday.
This girl.
Yeah.
I know about this.
Yeah.
Okay, very fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Good for her. The women. So watching Ginny and Georgia, and like she's going through this murder trial and all these things, and she's stressed, and every night she's just sitting on the couch like nursing this like glass of wine, and like I'm watching this thing being like, yeah, I would do that too. Like your life is pretty much over, and like you're doing this, but I'm like, right.
There's so many other things that like you can change from wine to self-care. You can do like a tea. Get a nice little sober cocktail,
I think the thing about alcohol and wine specifically with like the mommy wine culture, which I was fully in. Like I was never a mom, but I was like, well, everyone drinks wine at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, that's like when my one friend was like, yeah, I'm just going to go home and drink a bottle of wine or drink a glass of wine and clean my house. That made me feel like I'm allowed to do that as a girl. I can go home and drink a glass of wine and clean my house. Meanwhile, I drank the whole bottle of wine and cleans like half of a cupboard.
Yes, that's what I would do. I would start out so like manic and then be like, wait, but then you take the depressant and you're like, never mind, the house is fine. There's like everything is sticky. I think also the idea that alcohol is an immediate relaxant. It is true. That is true. You drink it and it decompresses your nervous system. However, on the back end of that, it's not actually doing that.
It's not.
To be like,
it's going to cause more problems for you the next day.
To be like, I need wine to relax. Okay, but what we know about alcohol is that it messes with your anxiety. It does. Like the come down from that, the hangover, it is a withdrawal. It is, your body needs more and it's anxious. So honestly, you might be getting a good sleep, but wine has nothing to do with self-care. Alcohol
have a tea that's like has actual good ingredients in it.
Well, it's interesting
and
to
it's
like
going to calm your nervous system, and it's not going to cause you anxiety in the morning.
It's interesting to like come home and be like, I'm going to cook a really nice healthy dinner.
Mhm.
I'm going to have a glass of wine. I'm going to have another glass of wine and then get into the bath and with bath salts and just be really relaxed and healthy and calm. And it's like, right. But there's poison in your body.
Yeah.
So all the self-care stuff you're doing is amazing. And then you stop it because you put alcohol in your system.
Yeah. The alcohol is ruining your self-care
And
night.
it doesn't necessarily feel like it is.
No.
But the reframe of alcohol is not self-care is just so true because it's not.
It's not.
Water is self-care. Tea is self-care.
Yeah.
I know that's boring, but wine isn't self-care.
Yeah. Wine, if you're a normal person and you can drink, wine is a celebration.
Yes.
You know, like celebrate at the end of the week, celebrate for a friend's party. Yeah. Wine isn't something that you do when you're trying to take care of yourself.
Yeah, but it is though. That's what we see. It's what I remember being a kid and being like, I can't wait. Like this was how I wanted to drink. I was like, I can't wait to turn 19 and I can drink wine on the couch and watch TV.
Yeah.
And that is what I did. I was so excited for that. So it does feel like my life is so stressful and now I drink.
Yeah.
And that's what we did with dancing too. I mean, when you're in college, that's the whole thing. It's like you work, you study. And then it's like, now we're going to get drunk and fuck off.
Yeah.
It's like you're not relaxing your body at all. Your body is not happy.
Yeah.
What you need instead of relaxing, instead of that like instant relaxation, what you need is like to reflect at the end of the day. Oh my God, people are going to be like, this is so cringy, Heather. But like,
sorry.
Reflecting at the end of the day is actually what your body needs to relax. It needs to process the entire day, tip to tail, calm your nervous system. Sometimes we go through the day and you're like, oh my God, what did I say? What did I do? You drink wine at the end of the day so that you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah.
You should think about your day.
You know what?
Do you
reflect?
Yeah.
I feel like I don't.
Oh, I journal.
I feel like I'm like always go, go, go. And then when I'm home, I just like do my skincare routine listening to a podcast and I'm not really sitting with my thoughts that much.
Interesting. Yeah. Have you ever journaled?
I was journaling a lot in rehab.
Yeah. Well,
obviously.
What else are you going to do?
What else am I going to do? I journaled a lot, maybe 6 months out of rehab as well. Okay. Every day I was journaling.
I just fell out of it.
And then I fell out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes in phases though. I find like putting pressure on like journaling every day. Yeah. Even in rehab, I had that like 5-minute journal and like you just write something every day. Yeah. Or even, no, we had like class. We had class in rehab and every day you had to write like 3 things, like one line of like whatever. And I never did it because I don't do homework.
Right.
But I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. Stop making me do things. But if you can kind of get into the...
I do want to be more reflective. I feel like it would be beneficial.
Yeah.
It would maybe give me more like serenity.
I think you would like it because I think you would maybe reflect on how fucking good of a job you're doing.
Oh,
it's nice.
That's really nice.
That almost made me cry for a second. I don't know why. For no reason.
No, we literally love each other so much.
Get away from me. Okay. You need alcohol to have fun.
I mean, it helps.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I think what we've learned...
I was talking about this with one of my sober people last night at the circus because I was telling her, like, I still go out and, like, I'm going to Electric Island with my boyfriend at the end of the month. And she was like, what? Like, you still go out? Like, that's crazy. I would feel so awkward in my body. And I was like, yeah, like, I did feel awkward in my body the first few times, but you get used to it. You get used to being able to have fun without alcohol.
Well, and that's the thing, too. It's like feeling awkward in your body. We all have that.
Yeah.
But
a lot of people don't ever feel that because they're numbing themselves all the time. They never get to experience that awkwardness of like, I don't know what to do with my hands right now. You know, it's so we're important. So much more stronger and elite than everyone else because we can feel that awkwardness and we have to get over that hump. And it is very hard. I'm not saying any of this is easy. It's hard as hell, but once you get through it, you feel like a superhero. Like you feel like you can do anything in the world. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Being able to sit with yourself or be with yourself or party with yourself is so important. Remember in rehab, our counselor was like, if you're drinking because you're bored, if you need to drink because you're bored, you can't just sit with yourself. That's a problem.
Well, I couldn't ever look at myself in a mirror.
No, you have to be able to be sober and sit with yourself and know how you are. And like, if you're a drinker, that's fine. But like, you should go to these things and you should do the things you normally do without alcohol.
Yeah.
Because you should know yourself. You should
know if you like doing these things. Like maybe you don't even like going to these parties or hanging out with these people sober.
That's
like,
a great point.
You might not even like your best friend. You just drink with her all the time. You might not even like who she is as a person. Hang out with her sober and see how you really feel about her, you know?
Yeah. And then when you have people around you that actually do care and support you, not just from a drinking perspective, you do feel better.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, these people
have me.
Love me for me and not because like I'm trying to have fun drinking with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, when it comes to dating, it's the same. I mean, you know, we always think like you have to drink to be able to go on a date. And it's like, hold on. What you just said about maybe you don't like your friend.
Yeah.
You might not like the guys you're dating either.
No, you're probably just like they're your party friends, you know? They're your drinking buddy. Well, they're not your boyfriend.
I mean, I've like said yes to being someone's girlfriend when I was wasted. Yeah. And like then my ex, we started dating, but we were drinking so much.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, I mean, it broke because I was an alcoholic. But I do wonder sometimes, I reflect, I'm like, did we actually like each other or did we just drink a lot in the beginning, fall into a thing, and then like it was convenient and like cute for a little while?
Well, if you're drinking with someone, the serotonin, right? You have so much serotonin if you're drinking with someone that feels like love, right? So like, oh my God, I love this person. Oxytocin. So you confuse that. Yeah. You don't know if you like them or not.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. And it, you know, wine is a love drug. Yeah. And also it lets you
let your guard down.
It lets you let your guard down, and that makes you feel, when you let your guard down with someone, that makes you feel that you're doing it because they're making you feel comfortable. They're not making you feel comfortable. The alcohol is making you feel comfortable. So you don't even know what your vibes are. And as women, we have to feel the vibes in a sober way to keep ourselves safe and to like be able to like have a good fucking time.
And even like first dates, like I'm sure so many girls go on first dates at least having 2 drinks in them already so that they're like not as nervous. I loved going on first dates sober? Because like I loved feeling nervous. I don't know, it was like very exciting and something to like look forward to. And I never, maybe like the nerves, I was confused because that was like I never felt like that before. I've never felt nerves like that before. So I really did like feeling that.
I kind of like it too. I when I went on the first few dates, I was terrified. Like texting my friends, being like, I don't know if I can go in there. Yeah. It is very empowering.
Exactly, because you do it and then you're sober and then you're like, fuck, I can do anything. And me, I did it. Yeah. I did it. I didn't have to rely on anything.
That was a big
to make me fun, flirty, and hot.
It was a big thing for me when I went to rehab. I was like, I don't know who I am. And I know that I
didn't know who I was either.
And I know that I'm funny. I know that I'm funny as hell and I can change it. I can fuck up any conversation and just like give people, I can make people feel good. I can. I know I can do that. I'm like Mr. Fun Guy. Yeah. And when I stopped drinking and went to rehab, I was like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know if people like me. I don't know if I'm funny. I don't know how to make conversation because I've only ever met people
drunk,
fucked up for the past 10 years.
Same.
And then it didn't take long. It was like the second night I was like, oh, we're chilling. Like, this is good. We're talking about drugs. We're talking about stuff. Like, it's okay. Like, you're in there.
Yeah.
And like, that's the version of yourself that needs to be respected and loved by a significant other. And it's really interesting to be on this side in sobriety and like dating. And like I've been on dates where I'm like, oh, he hates me. And like, or he really likes me and then he doesn't text me back, or he does and he's like, I hate you.
But that's like the game of it all. Like that's just dating.
Drinking wouldn't change it.
Drinking wouldn't change that.
Nothing. No. And if it did, like let's say that guy texted me again and wanted to go out again, but I had been drinking the first night. What I know now of him is that he was dating somebody else. Yeah. And so he would have just wanted to have sex with me, which is fine. But we also didn't have sex on the first night because I wasn't drinking. Yeah. If I was drinking, and then that took me into a loop because I was like, wait, I thought we're not supposed to have sex on the first date. But if we do, he's going to text me and say, I don't want this. This is not serious. And if I don't, he's going to be like, oh, she's a loser, boring girl. And that's what it felt like, because I didn't have sex with him on the first date.
And I
didn't drink.
Yeah.
He did say we should go out again, and then texted me and was like, I don't want to go out again. And I'm like, oh my God, now I'm sober and he doesn't like me. But all that to say, if I did drink, the result would be the same.
Exactly.
And that's good.
And that is good.
It does feel really good. It does feel really good, but it is also really scary. Like,
I think it's just like, if you have the mindset of being like, I'm sober, everyone else relies on something else.
yes.
That makes me superior to everybody. Like,
that's a
the
good way to frame it.
confidence, like the confidence it has to like brings me is amazing. And I'm so thankful.
Thing.
I'm like, I can go out with this guy who's been drinking. Like, I don't care, because I'm superior to him and I'm better than him because I'm sober.
That's an interesting reframe to be like, oh,
Yeah.
are you drinking today? And it's like, oh, no. Rather than me, I just go, oh, no, I can't. I'm a lunatic and I'll have sex with all of you. I think that's funny to say.
Yeah.
It is kind of interesting to be like, are you drinking today? And it's like, no, I don't need to.
Yeah.
I don't really want to. I'm
No.
good. I mean, we don't, but it's like, yeah, I don't need to. Yeah, that's hot.
That's hot to me.
That's hot to me.
It wouldn't have been hot to me years ago, but
well, no.
I love that I can say that. And yeah, I don't have to tell everybody that I'm an alcoholic straight up. Like,
I love to.
I love to too, but it's also like interesting and fun to like keep it mysterious and be like, no, I don't drink.
Yeah.
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 And then tell them about my crazy life after.
Well, that's the thing. Some people go,
when they're hooked.
Some people go, okay. And I go, you're not going to ask why?
Yeah.
Like I said something.
Well, I think people are nervous to ask why. I met my friends, when you dropped me off, I met my friend's friend. And she invited me to Apartment 200 for her party in a couple weeks. I'm like, oh, great.
200. I haven't heard that.
I'm going in a couple weeks.
That just made my nipples hard in a way. I was like, I don't want to go.
I need to wear a sparkly outfit. That's the only requirement if I want to go to her birthday party. And I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I'll get some sparkles. Do you have a sparkly outfit I can borrow?
I was just going to say, you know that pink skirt that I have that's like sparkly?
Okay.
You'd wear a little underwear underneath.
Can I wear that? Oh my God. Does it?
What if
do
I
you
was
think
like,
it will fit
no?
me?
Are we not the exact same?
You're tinier than me for
I
sure.
think we are the exact same.
You're tinier than me for sure. We'll see.
It's me. It's a cute one.
I'll try it on after. Where was I going? But when I told her I was sober, and I could tell that she's like never heard that before in her whole life, like someone saying that they're sober, and she's like, "Oh, interesting." Like, and I was like, "Yeah, you've probably never heard that in your life before."
God, it's so weird.
I'm like, I forget that it's not a normal thing for people to hear.
I know.
You know?
I know. And I feel like because my algorithm is pretty sober, I'm like, are we not unique? I'm like, oh my God, is everybody sober? And I'm like, no, literally nobody is sober.
Nobody is sober. No one ever hears another person saying that they're sober. So it takes them by shock. And yeah, obviously they're not going to ask questions because they don't want to interrogate you. They don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, you know?
Mind you, it's my
You're choking yourself right now.
I don't know why I was doing that. It's been a very horny week. Speaking of choking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Spitting.
Actually, let's do this.
Okay.
Well, dating and sex is interesting because drunk sex is better. That's one of these.
Okay.
We'll get into that propaganda. Drunk sex is better. This is interesting because this is what I'm going through now. Well, obviously we know that I'm going through a sex problem where I get really nauseous when I have sex.
Yeah.
It's getting a little better. But I was thinking the other day, like, there are things that I normally ask for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are things that I have said to this new guy that I'm seeing, that I'm involved with. I've said it to him, even calling him like daddy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for us.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't fit for us for certain. And I don't feel right saying it.
I never liked saying daddy.
I like it.
Really?
I've always said it. Yeah.
There was only one guy that really liked it, so I said it for him, but I never really liked it.
You didn't like it?
No, I'm not a daddy.
Yeah, I like it.
I think I'll like it when my husband is a dad, and then I'll probably say it. Hot.
Well, now, yeah, you're just like, where's your kids?
Where's your kids at?
But
don't put them inside me.
I liked it in the same way that I liked being choked.
Yeah.
And
you don't like being choked with this guy?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sober now, and I feel like sex is so weird. Like I'm very, my body is like rejecting a lot of like intimacy, but I'm working on it. But I was wondering, because I said something, I called him daddy when we were having sex, and I was like, that wasn't really right. And then I asked him later, I'm like, what do you like to be called in bed? And he's like, oh, I like babe or baby or whatever. And I'm like, okay, hot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I feel like and the choking. He hasn't choked me.
Okay.
And I like it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be with him. And it's not because of him. I feel like it's me. I'm like, oh, I'm figuring out now as a sober person what I and my nervous system and my body really like and what it needs. And this was a real big curveball. Like, I didn't think that, like, I think
it's also different with each man you're sleeping with, right?
Totally.
Like, some people that I was sleeping with, I liked to be like more aggressive with, I guess, just because I didn't care.
Yeah.
Or like maybe I wanted that from them. But with my boyfriend, like, I do like more like loving sex sometimes.
Zoe, are you having romantic sex?
Not always, no.
Are you over there having romantic sex on the 45th floor?
On the 39th floor. I wouldn't say romantic sex, but it's a different type of let's be honest, it's not romantic.
It's like as romantic as you can be.
Yeah.
You're like, I love you.
I love you, but punch me in the face, please.
Yeah.
No, it is the different men I sleep with, I definitely feel like there's a different vibe, and the fact that I like my boyfriend so much, it's a different type of sex that makes me feel more connected.
Nice. Yeah.
Instead of just like, I'm not using him for something.
Yeah.
It's a conjoined thing, I guess.
I think the performance of it for me is clearly a dissociation and like being like loud and being like pretending to have orgasms and stuff. It's very performative, and I think that
and you're a dancer.
Yeah, but I think that is part of me not wanting to be there. Like, I
think so too.
Hating my body for years, never wanting to be naked, having to be in the dark, like being a drunk, all these things. What was I just gonna say?
The performance of it all.
I think the performance of it helped me dissociate. But now that I'm sober,
you want to be connected to you.
Yeah, it's like I can't do the my brain and my body can't be separate. Like, they have to be together, or I don't feel safe. I mean, my brain and my body are in the same vessel.
I think that's totally what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on.
Yeah.
So now I'm having like really sweet like cuddle sex, and it's like really cute. I have to show you a position actually.
Okay.
It was like we keep ending up in this position because we keep having sex on the couch, and it's like really cute.
Oh,
I know.
Adorable.
I know.
No, I think sex, I don't know what type of sex I was having when I was drunk. Like, I wasn't there, and I'm sure it was performative, and I'm sure it wasn't good. Like, I don't think I had orgasms when I was drinking.
Yeah.
How could I? I couldn't feel anything.
Well, the girl, Shan, that was on Daxter's podcast, she was like, I think what makes you really good in bed is the ability to say that you don't think you're that good in bed. And I am like, oh my God, yeah, I don't think I'm that good in bed. Yeah, of course. Like, when she said that, I was like, oh, I know that. Like, I know. And not because I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm good enough at this or hot enough at this or flexible enough at this. It's like, no, I just don't necessarily know what I want. And that's almost like exciting to me.
What makes sex good is finding out what you want and what you like. And that's when the sex gets good. You know, how can you know what you want and like when you're drunk having sex? Yeah. When you're drunk having sex, your ability's down, and you're just like trying to please the man, I feel. And you're not really feeling anything as a woman. Maybe as a man you are.
That's also why
I'm not too
when I go down on guys, I don't get nauseous because like I'm not performing. I'm good at this part. I know I'm good at it. And this is about like your vulnerability. I'm not vulnerable in this situation. Yeah. So that makes me less anxious and nauseous. But when it's like on me, I'm like, oh God. And it's like kind of annoying. It's kind of a bummer to be like, I'm 30 and I don't know what I like or what I want. But I'm also like, I'm only 30. No, that's okay.
Literally people in their, like, people probably die not knowing what they like, you know?
100% Zoe, they do. And that's
at least you're figuring it out. A lot of people never figure it out. And that's really sad. My aunt told me, she was like, I love listening to the podcast because like you're having so much fun sex. And like, I'm so happy for
Zoe
you.
is.
Well, we both are.
I'm thrown up.
Well, you have had fun sex.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know if a lot of women out there get to experience sex like this and be so open with their partners. Yeah. It's like really, it's really fun. I don't know what the fucking type of drunk sex I was having before. I don't want to know.
Not good.
Not
always,
good.
And always so bruised. Always.
Oh my God.
So
I
bruised.
hated waking up in the morning and like not being able to pee because it hurt so much. And that's where like we probably weren't wet. We definitely weren't lubed up. Like they were just using us. Yeah. And that's where were we even awake?
God, I just so knew my role though.
Yeah.
I knew my role was not to be loved. It was just to like walk in there and be useful.
Yeah.
That's all
That's literally so sad though.
Yeah, but that's what I thought that I was. And really, truly, the things that I were doing at that time and drinking the way I was like, this is all I deserve.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt. And I'm like, so I need to get as close to love as I possibly can. Mm-hmm. And this is it. So I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm really depressed and sad about it. So I'll just go home and drink and that's fine.
Yeah.
Not good.
Not good.
Now I'm having better sex even though I'm throwing up.
Yeah, but you're getting better. You didn't throw up the other night.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Exciting. Exciting stuff. Really.
Okay. We brought this up before, but I just want to touch on it again for any new listeners. You can drink again if your mental health has improved.
So that's an interesting one because I think like going to meetings, that's the whole point. Like, you know that you can never drink again. Okay. Like, you've accepted that you're powerless over alcohol. If you have alcohol in your body again, you're gonna go back and it's gonna be worse every time.
Yeah.
They always encourage you to like talk to people who relapse and ask why they relapse and what was happening before and like so that you can stop yourself from doing that. So hopefully it never happens again. But having the mentality of being like, no, but you're an alcoholic, but once you fix yourself, you can drink again like a normal person.
Yeah.
You can't ever tell that to someone. I think if someone told me like when I was getting sober, yeah, I know you're depressed and you were drinking too much, but you can drink like a normal person again, that would give me the ability to relapse and that would just continue my cycle that I was doing before, trying to get sober, like not being able to get sober. The cycle of it all is what's dangerous, and being a chronic relapser is dangerous because one day you will die. You can't tell that to someone. It's not, drinking wasn't because of our mental health. Drinking was because we felt like we needed something else to fix ourselves. That's not mental health to me. That's like relying on something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like that conversation is like very nuanced because it's like, it can be. It can be like, you know, I was incredibly depressed and anxious as a kid and I went through trauma and I'm an alcoholic. Whereas like, and some people don't have that trauma, right? So it's like, where does it come from? But the thing is, if you take poison, it's going to poison you. And for us, for addicts, that
my brain hasn't changed.
No.
You know, my brain hasn't changed. Yeah, I'm happier now because I don't drink. That doesn't mean I can drink again and then be happy still.
Right.
You know, it's going to go down again.
It will. It will, because that's our thing.
Yeah.
We're alcoholics. We're addicts. Like, it does not matter. It doesn't. And I think people need to understand this. It doesn't matter where you're at with your mental health. You could be you could hold down the best fucking job. I've said this before, and this is one of the best lessons I learned in rehab for this specific situation. You know, your mental health is better. I feel better. Can I drink? The way they think about it is like, your addiction is over here, you're over here, and it's coming with you, right? You can stop drinking.
Yeah.
But okay, the drinking is in the middle. But the drinking stopped, it's gone, but the addiction is still there.
Yeah.
Just because you don't have alcohol in the house doesn't mean you're not an alcoholic.
Yeah.
You're not an alcoholic just when you drink. It's always. And so when you are, you know, you're growing and changing and you're moving on with your life and your mental health is getting better, your addiction is still there because we have it. It's an addiction in our body and it's just doing push-ups.
Yeah.
So when you go back to it, it's not a matter of whether you can control this thing. This thing is so strong. And this is where the powerlessness comes over in AA, right? It's like, we are powerless to this thing because it's so fucking strong and it never gives up.
Yeah.
And it's just waiting. So when you do,
and it is just one day at a time too.
Yes.
Like, we never know. And that's why, like, I'm happy today because I don't drink. That doesn't mean like I can drink. You know, I don't know.
you're happy because you're not drinking.
Yeah.
Like
if I'm that my
can't.
mental health is good right now because I'm not drinking, that doesn't mean I should drink.
No, nothing in my life, nothing at this point, nothing at all would be better, enhanced in any way by alcohol. Nothing. No. Would it make, I mean, even like, would it make situations easier in social settings? Maybe for a second, but honestly, all social settings I've been to when I was drinking, I leave being like, oh my God, what the fuck did I say or do?
And I leave in social settings when I'm drinking because I just want to drink like a lunatic at home. Like, I'm not enjoying the people at the function when I'm drinking because I'm waiting for the party at home. Like, I'm going to leave the function in an hour because the party's at home. If I'm sober at the function, I'll stay for 5 hours because I can actually enjoy myself without thinking about what shit I want to do at home.
Yeah. You have to hit rock bottom to get sober.
What was your rock bottom? Did you think you had a rock bottom and then it wasn't your rock bottom?
Okay, no. Okay, so there were things that would happen, like I wouldn't feel well, or like the major throwing up in the shower.
Yeah.
My rock bottom was I knew I was going to die.
Yeah.
Like that.
It was like an instinct that you had, or did you see something, or did you notice
could feel
something?
It.
Yeah.
I looked crazy. Yeah. I mean, you saw pictures of me. It looked, I looked like I was in, someone said that I was with Ariane, and she was like, yeah, you looked like you were in liver failure.
Yeah.
Like, you just didn't, like the way that I was bloated, the way that I had weight on my body, I was having heart palpitations. There was a day, I woke up in the morning and I moved a little bit, and this whole side stabs. I don't know if it was a heart episode. I've talked to other addicts who are like, I think I had some sort of heart episode. It may have just been like severe muscle tension.
Yeah.
But it was so bad.
Your body was telling you this is enough.
I couldn't even reach for my phone. Because if I moved this, then like this kind of moves. I couldn't. And I was like, if I move, I'll die. Like it just felt like the pain was so bad that my heart was going to explode. And there were a few of those. And there was a few of like, I can't put my hair in a ponytail without sitting down because I'm winded. Like I can't tie my shoes. I can't get Nike's harness on without being winded.
We're so lucky to have had like that rock bottom where we're like, okay, this is enough, because a lot of people don't have that like, oh, this is enough for me. Like I want to be sober.
Did you have one?
I mean, I guess it was my rock bottom was when I was moving back to the city and I was going to job interviews, showing up drunk, and I was ending up at the hospital again.
Yeah. It's nice
and I couldn't do anything. Like I couldn't get a job. I was just ending up in the hospital. I was like, okay, I can't do it anymore. If I want to be back in the city, I guess I have to figure out how to be sober. But at that point, I think I was just like, I need to figure out how to drink moderately.
Well, the thing is for you, your rock, like, thank God you stopped when you did, because like that was as rock bottomy as I'd ever want you to get. Because with you,
my rock bottom should have been when I stood on the ledge of my balcony, you know? My rock bottom should have been when I got my DUI.
Yeah, and we should have stopped drinking the first time we blacked out, but we didn't. Right?
Exactly.
It's like rock bottom is different for everyone. And there are, you said this before, a lot of people think like, oh, you got a DUI and that's when you got sober. It's like, no, that DUI fucking escalated my drinking because I was so upset that I got a DUI. I felt so much shame. It's like, well, I might as well just fucking kill myself with this alcohol then.
Exactly.
Everyone's rock bottom is different, but you really don't need to get there. And I would urge you to not.
I don't know. I feel like you do need to, if you want to be sober really badly with all you have in you and do it, you kind of do need to face the rock bottom. Like you do need to have that desperation of like, oh, I need to be sober, or else you're gonna keep relapsing. I feel, you know, it's gonna continue. The cycle will continue until alcohol has brought you to your knees. Unfortunately, you do need to hit that point, and some rock bottoms.
Can you explain the to your knees thing?
I don't know. I feel like you just need to be like desperate enough.
It's an AA thing. Does that mean like on your knees before God? Is that like a?
I mean, people pray on their knees, yeah.
But is that what it means? It's
I think it's just like a saying. Like it brought me to my knees. Like I couldn't.
Like it took me down.
Yeah.
Okay. I always wondered what that was. Yeah. I mean, is this because everyone says it, and I'm like, hey, you guys all know this. You guys all know the same thing.
Yeah, I guess you all read the same book. It's just like a saying that we say, I guess.
I like it. It's like a full crumble, like a submission.
And you do kind of have to like be willing to do anything.
However, I do think that you know when you need to stop drinking before you hit rock bottom. I certainly did.
Yeah, but
and
like
I wasn't ready.
You won't actually do that.
Yes, and I think that to hit rock bottom is really good because visually you can push off, you know, you hit bottom. If you're just floundering in the middle, it's really hard to get yourself back up. Like you want to hit bottom. I know, but
there were so many times that I thought I was at my bottom and I wasn't.
Well, you're not.
I was never floundering in the middle. I was always at my bottom, you know?
Not really, because you didn't stop for so long, right? Because even standing on the ledge of your balcony.
Well, my bottom just got lower and lower, I guess. Like I didn't know how low my bottom could be.
Well, it's death.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate rock bottom, and that's what we want to avoid, right?
Yeah.
And so I do get it. Often we say like people aren't ready to go to rehab or stop until they're ready. And unfortunately, that is true. Yeah. And oftentimes that does mean hitting a rock bottom. And sometimes that can be like your wife is like, I'm fucking leaving you. Yeah. Or your kid finds your bottle of alcohol or things like that. But if it doesn't feel like rock bottom to you, it's really hard to get out of it.
Exactly.
I don't want you to hit rock bottom, but you kind of have to.
Yeah.
To know. And you kind of have to hit rock bottom to remember and to fucking realize how bad it was.
Yeah.
Because I'll do shit, like I'll gaslight the hell out of myself. And I'll be like, was it really that bad?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's
you
also
were going
why
to
it's
die.
good going to meetings too, because you hear these newcomers' stories about like they think oh, maybe I'm not an addict, like I just did this last week, and I'm smoking crack tomorrow, like, but maybe I'm not an alcoholic, or maybe I'm not an addict.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's exactly the delusional thinking that I had. And
you don't want to be. You don't want to be. You don't want to take the thing that makes you feel the greatest.
Yeah.
Even though that is also the thing that's like fucking with your chemical imbalance and it's making you really depressed. You don't want that to be the problem. How? Why can other people do it? And like, this has to be my problem. But it is.
Yeah.
You just can't. It's actually kind of empowering to know like, oh, I can't do that.
Yeah.
You know? I can't. It's not for me.
It is like a breakup, though. Like, it's literally, it was the love of my life.
Absolutely. And
talking about this much like makes me miss her.
I know. Well, that's also how I feel about anorexia. When I was like, trigger warning, this is a mental health podcast, but when I was not starving myself anymore because I literally couldn't keep it up.
Yeah.
I missed it so much. I was like, she was so cute and she had such vigor and she had such ability to not eat and to run for, I don't know why I was just going like that, for 45 minutes. Like I missed it.
Yeah.
And there's like a part of me that, I do miss the alcoholic version of myself, and not in a way that I want to go back.
Yeah.
But in a way that was like, man, there was a real way to calm it down. Like a real quick way.
But like there also wasn't, because you do have to hit your rock bottom, as we're saying.
Yeah.
But the whole propaganda thing was that you don't have to hit your rock bottom.
No, you don't. And
I mean, I guess like if you're not a true alcoholic, you don't. If you want to stop, you can stop.
Well, I think
as an alcoholic you might need to, though. I'm contradicting myself.
I think the point of it's okay. It's a very like it's a nuanced conversation because it's like, yes, again, to feel in your body that you're ready to get sober, you do have to hit a certain thing. And it could just be rock bottom in your mind.
That's true. You don't need to like do something drastic for you to stop. If you are listening to this podcast and you're like, fuck, I want what they have. Yeah, then that's your rock bottom and go get sober.
Yeah. It's also like, you don't have to be an addict to get sober.
No.
You can be drinking too much. You can be drinking not that much.
Yeah.
You don't have to be an addict to get sober. But hitting rock bottom, it's just not the goal. It's like being on the street is not the goal. It's not the goal to hit rock bottom. But
that's true.
But I understand why it does happen, you know? I would say try to avoid it. And I would say if you don't hit rock bottom and you get sober, you just have to write down reasons why it was that bad. Sometimes rock bottom
and
helps
I'm sure if you think you're drinking too much, you are.
Yes.
And I'm sure you can come up with a list super fast.
Yeah.
So like,
but if you're waiting for rock bottom, I think you're pretty much there. And also if you're waiting for rock bottom, just know that rock bottom could be really, really bad.
And going back to like, you don't need to be an alcoholic to stop drinking. My friend, she stopped drinking for a few weeks and just got a new relationship with alcohol and now doesn't drink every day by herself, you know? She is drinking only when she's going out or has like maybe one drink by herself a week, you know?
Yeah.
It's a new relationship that she has with alcohol. It's not she took a break to think about what her relationship was with alcohol and has a better one now. And I think that's amazing. And I'm so proud of her.
But was she was drinking too much before?
She was drinking just every night. It wasn't too much that it wasn't affecting her life.
Yeah.
But she didn't like how she was drinking.
No,
and now she likes not having to rely on that and being able to do it when she wants to and not as like a part of her routine. People get caught up in a routine of just drinking every day. I mean, you have to cut that.
Pause. That's awesome if true, right?
I think so.
And sure. And maybe for her specifically it is true. That would be great.
Is that camera on? Oh my God.
Yeah, you want to move. Oh. Just a little bit of technical difficulties. I think
this is getting. I'm going to have to buy 2 new cameras. So annoying, but like they don't work unless they're perfect.
What the fuck?
I'm so annoyed. Okay, let's just finish this and then we'll be like, okay, we've lost a camera. I haven't been that fucking mad in a while, but I just
haven't seen you that mad, babe.
I just threw my pen with such rage at like morally.
I was like, oh my God, what's she gonna do next?
And then the fucking camera fell over. Okay, we just lost a camera.
Heather's gone.
I'm gone. This camera's gone. I don't know when it left.
That camera.
But for some reason, we can't sit here for 2 hours without something happening. So we're just going to do this. Technical difficulties. I love you guys. Just bear with us. Okay, we're almost
Bear with
done.
us, please.
The rock bottom of it all.
Yeah.
I think we can move on.
I think we can move on.
I'm sorry, DJ.
I'm sorry.
Okay. That's awesome if it's true.
Right.
I don't know how sustainable or how like safe it is to hear those stories because it's so, and I don't mean in a bad way. It's just,
I think she's just not an alcoholic, so she can do that.
Right.
I think as an alcoholic, you can't do that.
Well, see,
that's the
listening
difference.
to that story, it makes no sense to me.
Right.
I'm like,
yeah,
you can then change your relationship to alcohol.
Yeah,
I can't.
No,
right,
we
right,
can't.
right.
She can.
Some people can.
Yeah, some people can, and some people aren't alcoholics, but they do get into patterns of drinking every day. And then they realize, oh shit, like I can
true.
change my relationship with alcohol.
I guess that's true. And it a little bit used to piss me off because I'm like, why can't I just change my relationship with alcohol? And it's like, well, that's not available to you, sweetie.
Yeah.
That's not available. You don't have that. You can, Also, you have to drink every night to be an alcoholic. You have to drink this amount. You have to have more than this amount, or you have to be drinking in the morning.
Yeah.
That's kind of part of it too, of like what makes me an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
That makes everyone is different. You and I drink very differently.
Yeah.
We probably drink like similar amounts, but we drank very differently.
Yeah.
I was drinking in the morning. Were you drinking in the morning? Yeah.
Yeah, most days if I could.
But if I sit here and say, oh, I was drinking in the morning, and then Johnny is like, oh, I only drink at night. I drink 6 beers, but I only drink at night. So Heather's way worse than me. Yeah. Sure. But you're still an addict. You're still relying on those 6 beers. You know, it doesn't matter what I'm doing or what I've done or how many people I've fucked or gotten hit by the train or like.
Well, it's the same thing as when I thought like, oh, I wasn't as bad as everybody else in rehab because they were addicted to harder stuff. It doesn't matter that I wasn't addicted to crack. Like my drug of choice still made me want to kill myself and was going to kill me.
Yeah, fucked up your life.
Yeah, and fucked up my life and made me a shell of a person.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much you're drinking. If it's destroying your life and killing you, then you're an addict.
Yeah. It's a really good point too. It's like if it's destroying your life, you can't handle it.
You gotta cut it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
if your boyfriend is destroying your life, you gotta cut it.
That's exactly right. If you are like using a body wash that's like giving you a rash, you gotta cut it.
You gotta cut it.
You gotta cut it.
That's an easy solution. Yeah. But the other two is like, it's so hard for people.
Emotional.
It's so emotional.
Yeah. But it is true. It's objectively, it's like this isn't serving you. Leave it. Like alcohol just is not serving you anymore.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Yeah.
You know, harder said than done. Or easier said than done. But I do think that that's an important an important thing because I was trying to negotiate my own sobriety early on when I was like, well, she did that to drink, or like she was drinking vodka. I wasn't drinking vodka. So like she's way worse. So what if I just...
I think I was comparing myself to drugs as well. It was like, at least like I'm not doing crack, you know, at least I'm not doing, like my ex was doing coke way more than I was. And I was like, he's way worse than me. No, he wasn't. He was still doing his job and showing up for family. Like I wasn't doing any of those things.
And so to him, you probably looked worse because you weren't showing up for family. You're not going to your job. I'm drinking at work. Some people are holding... Elon Musk has $1 trillion and he has a very severe addiction to ketamine. And it's like, it doesn't really matter what you're presenting or how you're functioning. It's like the reliance on alcohol is different for everyone, and you know when you're relying on it. And it's only a matter of time before it fucks your life. Elon Musk would be on the street if he wasn't a trillionaire.
Exactly.
You know? Same with like, we were talking about that before. It's like, I had a roof over my head, but for how long? You know? Like that was not going to last very long.
It's not sustainable.
No. Some drugs send you to the streets faster, but it's not exclusively hard drugs. The very last thing is, I guess, just to wrap everything up, is that alcohol makes me more fun and it makes me more me. Lets me be me.
It let me be me when I first started drinking. Maybe like the first year of my drinking. Actually, maybe like the first 3 or 4 years of my drinking. But then it just, made me become a shell of a person and not care about anything else.
When you first started drinking, did you know who you were?
No. Right. I was using it to be someone I'm not. So Isn't
that interesting? It's like we start drinking because we think we're supposed to and we're trying to fit in, and that helps. And you take this drug and it helps you fit in. Perfect. That's the worst thing in the world, is to not fit in. And it does feel like it's enhancing who you are. And I think the problem is that it's not. It's actually making you a stupid version of yourself. It's making you, an uninhibited person is not the safest person to be around. It's not the person who's like thinking critically. It's not the person who wants everyone to have a good time and making sure people are safe. Not thinking about yourself. Alcohol doesn't make you more you. It makes you annoying. It makes you like a different version of yourself, though. It's not you, because you wouldn't do those things, say those things.
It makes... It's a good thing to, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It was a nice thing to like make me open up as a person, maybe when I was in high school, and make me be more brave. And it did have positive attributes in high school. It's just when those things started not to be as positive, that's when it should have clued into my brain that like this can't be for me. It was too late when that switch happens.
And when that switch happens, you're like, well, now I don't know who I am at all because I've been drinking all this time. In my formative years. And that's okay, because everybody does that. And I started drinking
because I didn't know who I was. You're right. And
everybody does do that. But now I'm sitting here 30, getting nauseous, having sex, and not knowing what I want because I've never asked myself. I've never been coherent enough to know. And I love this version of myself way better, even if I'm not like where I want to be, or if I have like guilt about spending all those years not doing anything. I'm like, this version of me is actually me. It's my favorite version.
Well, we weren't even a version of ourselves before. Like now we actually are a contributing person of society. Now we actually have thoughts and have things that we like and know ourselves and are confident within ourselves and have personalities.
And I like myself.
I love myself.
I love myself too, honestly. I love you. I'm really mad at that camera.
I'm really mad at that camera. That camera's pissing me off.
Just like want you all to know that I really almost cried. It's okay, guys. We're getting there, and I'm not going to drink about it.
We're not going to drink about it. We would never do that.
Well, I'm glad that we've like fought the propaganda.
We're fighting every day.
Well, I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you too.
Okay, I've got to drive you to work now. Thanks, honey. Thanks for listening to Girl Undrunk. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Girl Undrunk Podcast, and or send me an email at heather@girlundrunk.com.
my god, oh my god, oh my god! Why?